Hey there YouTube, this is the frame for a GoPro Hero 5 and this is the ball cap that I plan to wear on a steelhead fishing trip that I'm going on here in a day or two. And the problem that I have is that all the ways you are supposed to attach this to this frankly kind of stink. So the folks at GoPro do make what they call a hat mount, and you'd think that would be the perfect solution for this. It's a clip that clips onto the brim of the hat and gives you the matching holes to mount up your frame or whatever you're going to put on the front of the cap. The problem with that is that the whole arrangement is about as heavy as this spring clamp, and so when you put it on over the course of the day, you know, it just drags itself down and wears out your neck, and frankly is a little bit just annoying having it in your line of sight out at the end of the ball cap. So what you really want to do is you really want to mount the camera back here at the back of the brim of the hat. The further back you can mount it, the more balanced it is when it sits on your head, and the further, you know, out of your line of sight whatever's attached to the hat is. This is one of the self-adhesive GoPro mount shoes, which there's a lot of videos on YouTube of people mounting these to their hats in various ways. The basic problem is that the adhesive that's on here won't really stick to the cloth that is on the brim of a hat. So you have two solutions. You can either cut this cloth away and stick the shoe to the plastic that's underneath it, which works pretty well, but eventually the cloth will sort of pull back from the hole that you cut and it looks really ratty. Or you can take this thing and you can essentially start stitching it down. You can run a needle through here and either drill holes in this or just run it over the top of the thing and essentially sew that shoe onto the hat. But either way, this kind of has two problems. First of all, between this shoe and this base that you now have to put on your frame, you've added what doesn't seem like a lot of weight when it's in your hand, but when it's hanging out over the front of your head, you notice it. The other problem is that once you've got this thing stuck on here, getting the foot in from the back can be difficult depending on the kind of hat you've got. And if you end up having to slide it in from the front, well, now the camera is almost out at the end of the brim again. You really haven't accomplished anything. The solution to that problem is this. This is the tripod mount adapter for the GoPro. It has GoPro fittings on top and a standard camera tripod 1/4-20 thread on the bottom. To mount this to the hat, all I need is one hole, big enough for a 1/4-20 bolt, which I can put clear back here at the back of the hat. With the 1/4-20 hole drilled in the hat, it's just a matter of finding an appropriate bolt in your can of scrap and a fender washer, which I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I bent mine just a little bit to fit the contour of the hat. Anyway, you shove this through here, and in fact, if you've drilled exactly the right size hole, you're going to have to screw this into the hat, which is a good thing. It keeps the screw from falling out when you take the camera off. And then your GoPro tripod adapter screws on the outside. When you have it lined up right, you can cinch it down from the inside. And if it moves on you just a little bit, you can just grab it with a pair of pliers and twist it back to where it's supposed to go. This, in my opinion, is one of the other big upsides of this particular mounting method, is you don't have to get the alignment exactly right the instant you set the thing down. From here, it's just standard old GoPro mounting. Throw your frame in there, put in the screw. You do have to tip the frame forward to load the camera, which means you're going to mess up whatever sort of vertical alignment you had, but not the end of the world. Yes, it looks ridiculous, and yes, the Session is a lighter camera and is a better choice if you're going to do this all the time. But this does work, and it works in the scenario where you need a head mount, but you also need a hat. I find that this stays in place without me having to tighten the hat any more than I have it normally without the camera on it. But your mileage may vary depending on kind of how you like to wear your hats. And I'm not going to do it to this one, but if you really want the sort of ultimate uncomfortable GoPro hat, what you can do is you can put a counterweight on the back of the hat. Either just hang it from the little knob at the top or go through the mesh in the back or whatever. Just put some weight approximately equal to the GoPro as far back on the hat as you can, and that'll make the whole thing sit, while heavier, you know, more even, kind of left to its own devices. There you go, short, sweet, and borderline stupid, but maybe it'll help one of you out. Of Questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. I'll get to them as soon as I can. While you're down there, think about hitting that subscribe button. And when you take your GoPro out to capture yourself in action, stay safe, YouTube.